Hello and welcome to your mat. My name is Stacey. For today's practice, if you have them, you will want to have 1 to 2 yoga blocks nearby. That's okay if you don't have those. You can substitute with any other similar shaped household items, including pillows or blankets. Go ahead and get what you need, and I will meet you lying on your back in Shavasana. And take a few slow breaths in and out through your nose. Allowing your belly to rise up with each breath in and soften with each breath out. Big breath in, belly rise. And a soft breath out as the belly falls. Continue with that slow rhythm of breath. Remain still throughout your body. And just start to turn your gaze over to the right, letting your right ear find its way down to the mat. You can play with the height of your chin, maybe drawing it a little bit closer towards your shoulder or a little further away. See where it feels best. Even though we're looking to the right, we're continuing to breathe deep into the belly. Slowly bring your gaze back through center. Land in the center for a full cycle of breath. And then turn your gaze over to the opposite side. Left ear this time, coming down towards the mat. The right shoulder continues to reach down towards the floor. Bring your gaze back through center. Pause for a breath. And start to awaken your body by wiggling fingers and toes. Find some rotations through your wrists and ankles in both directions. And slide your feet together at the bottom of your mat. And bend through your knees, drawing them in towards your belly. You can take hold of the back of the thighs. You can interlace fingers. With every breath in, you're lengthening from your tailbone to the top of the head, creating as much length through your spine as you can. And every breath out, gently draw your knees in towards your belly. Finding subtle movement with breath. Next time you hug your knees in, option for a gentle rock from side to side. Pause in the center. Let the soles of your feet find the floor. Knees are bent. Bring the soles of your feet together. Your knees open up like a book, creating a diamond shape with your legs. Option if you have pillows or blocks nearby to place those beneath your knees if you like. Or you can leave them hovering in space. The closer your heels are to your pelvis, the more of a stretch you'll be feeling. So to ease off, you can slide your toes away from you, allowing the knees to sink closer towards the mat. You can place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Without trying to change its rhythm or rate. Just become aware of the rise and fall of your belly and chest as the breath moves through your body. Are you holding tension in your face, your jaw? Can you soften it? Maybe softening the shoulders, the arms, the back body. Allowing yourself to grow heavy on your mat. Keep your left leg just as it is. With the help of your right hand, we're going to draw just the right leg up through center. The left knee may open up a little more to the left, lowering down onto the floor. That's okay. So with the outer left knee on the mat or close to the mat, we're going to start to draw the right knee in towards the belly. The inseam of your left pant leg continues to face up towards the sky. As that right knee hugs in, you may already be feeling a stretch into the left hip, the left thigh. If you are, stay just as you are. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can start to send the right knee over towards the right shoulder, creating some distance between your knees. Make sure you continue to press the left hip into the mat. Maybe even using your left hand on the left hip to encourage it down. Choosing stillness or movement here. Keep the left side of your body as still as you can and draw some circles with the right leg. Moving as slowly as your body will allow, looking for areas of tension, of tightness. Circle in the opposite direction. And as you move through a point of tension, wherever that may be, we're going to pause there. Keep the left hip grounded. The outside of the left knee is reaching for the mat, but it does not have to touch. And keep breathing. Draw your right knee back through center if it's not already there. And extend your left leg long to the bottom of your mat. The left leg extended, the left heel reaching away from the top of your head as you hug the right knee in towards your belly. Deep flex in the left ankle. Your left toes are drawn towards your face. The right ankle can soften, allowing the toes to fall wherever they choose. Lengthen as much as you can up the left side of your body. And then we'll find a twist by guiding the right knee over your body towards the left side of the room. Option to place a pillow, a block beneath the right knee. Or you can allow it to hover above the floor. Right arm can extend beside you, reaching the right shoulder down towards the mat, even if that means the right knee isn't as close to the floor as you would like. Gaze is at the ceiling or over to the right. Feel your lower right belly expanding with breath. Maybe deepening the twist a little bit with each breath out. Gaze comes back through center. Your right knee will follow. Hug your right knee in one last time towards you for a full cycle of breath. And then extend it long to meet the left leg. Find a mini shavasana here. Settling into stillness, letting go of all effort, and allowing your body to become still. Slide your feet together at the bottom of your mat. One by one, draw your knees in towards your belly. Maybe this time taking the legs a little bit wider apart, creating space between the thighs for your belly to move with breath. And pressing all four corners of the pelvis into the floor. While maintaining that distance between your legs, a gentle rock from side to side. And pause in the middle. And draw your knees together. Let the soles of your feet find the floor. Soles of the feet come to touch, knees open up like a book. Maybe placing opposite hand on your belly, opposite hand on your heart. But if you don't remember which, that's okay. Just choosing the position that feels most awkward and uncomfortable. Chances are that's the opposite side. Consciously filling your belly with every breath. and allowing the palm of your hand to rise up and down softly with every breath. Maybe you notice a subtle wave-like motion of the chest as well. Noticing the difference between the movement of the belly, the movement of the chest. Your right leg is going to stay just as it is. We're going to draw the left leg this time up through center. Maybe the right leg lowers down a little bit closer to the floor, but keep your left hip pressing into the mat. Without lifting the left hip, start to draw the left knee in towards you, taking hold of the back of the thigh, your pant leg, maybe interlacing fingers. You can always adjust the right foot closer or further away from your pelvis to adjust that stretch. If you'd like to go a little bit further, option to send the left knee towards the outer left shoulder or the top left corner of your mat. Just creating as much distance as you can between the 2 points of your knees. You can use your right hand to encourage the right hip, the right thigh down towards the floor, but never being forceful. Maybe you choose stillness. Maybe if you took circles on the other side, you do here as well. Isolating the movement to the left hip joint as you circle the left leg slowly in one direction and then the other. And as you move through a point of tension, just pause there. And taking long, slow breaths in and out through your nose. Left knee comes back through center. And the right leg extends long to the bottom of your mat. Deep flex in the right ankle. The right toes are being drawn towards your face, with the right heel resting softly on the floor. Every breath in, lengthen from the right heel to the top of your head. Every exhale, ground down through the left hip as you hug the left knee in towards you. And take one more big breath in to lengthen. And then we'll find our twist, cross the left leg over your body to the right. Deciding if you'd like to use a prop underneath of your knee for some support. Breathing deep into your lower left belly. And bring your gaze back through center if it's off to the side. Let your left knee find center as well. One last big breath with the left knee in towards the belly, right leg extended long. And then draw the right knee in to meet the left. A little rock from side to side, releasing any tension that may have developed. Pause in the center, bring your right arm up overhead, and roll over onto your right side. And your left palm can rest softly on the floor or on your body. You're going to round through the back body by hugging your knees in close towards you. You can softly close your eyes, relax your face. Your back body expanding in all directions, and then softening down towards the mat. When you feel ready in your own time, just finding your way up to a tabletop position. Your shoulders are over your wrists, hips are over your knees. Let your head fall heavy, releasing through the back of your neck. And take a gentle sway from side to side, sending your left shoulder to the left hip, and then the right shoulder to the right. Alternating from side to side. Maybe pausing for a breath as you come to one side. Back through center and over to the opposite to pause. Really slowing down those movements, taking a moment to experience the pose in your body, see how it feels to move through those areas. When you feel even from side to side, pause in the center. Let your big toes come to touch, knees go wide apart, send your hips back, child's pose. Allow your forehead to come to rest on the floor or onto your block or a pillow. Lengthening through your back body, but keep the shoulders drawn into their joints. Rise back up through tabletop. We'll move through cat and cow. With a big breath in, lift the tailbone, belly drops, pull your heart forward, lift it up. On an exhale, scoop your tailbone first, rounding through your back body, hollow out your chest as you look to your belly. Inhale, cow pose, lifted tailbone, pull your heart forward, lift it up. Exhale, pressing firmly through the hands, especially the thumb and index as you hollow out the chest and look to your belly button. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Exhale. Take 3 more in each direction. Follow your own rhythm of breath. linking each movement to a breath and allowing each cycle to be a little bit slower than the one before it. No rush to get there, but when you have finished your 3, just landing in a neutral spine. Send your hips back towards your heels for child's pose. You can keep this posture active by pressing firmly through your hands, allowing the arms to activate as you lengthen through your back body. Or you can bend at the elbow, let the arms passively rest on the floor. Always the option to use blocks beneath the hips or pillows for support. Walk the fingertips out in front of you with the hips still heavy at your heels, or to walk your hands towards the top right corner of your mat, lengthening up our left side body. Keep the left hip reaching for the left heel, left shoulders reaching down towards the mat. Option to place the left hand on top of the right hand. Use that to draw a little more length up the left side of your body. Come back through center. Pause for a breath. Then over to the opposite side. Maybe stacking your right hand on top of the left. Really anchoring the right hip down towards the right heel, but it does not have to touch. Come back through center. And after one full cycle of breath, find your way up to tabletop. Walk your knees back a couple of inches for a modified plank. Low belly draws in, low ribs tuck in as well. Take a big breath in to lengthen. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, lower slowly down onto your belly. The palms on the floor beneath the shoulders. Keep your elbows drawn in and reaching towards your heels. Press down firmly through the shoelace side of your feet. As you inhale, lengthen and lift, baby cobra, collarbones, 1 or 2 ribs comes up off of the floor. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale, lengthen and lift. This time we're going to hold the lift. Keep pressing down to the tops of your feet, reaching through the big toes. The gaze is at the floor a few inches beyond the fingertips. Little to no weight in the hands here. We're looking to build some strength through our low back. You want the thighs to be active, squeezing the thigh muscles in towards the bone as you draw the kneecaps up towards your hips. And take one more big breath here. And as you exhale, slowly lower down. Let the big toes come to touch, the heels fall apart. And release your arms at your sides and turn your gaze over to the right. Just taking a few breaths on your belly. If lying on your belly is uncomfortable, you can always come into a child's pose instead. Turn your gaze back through center. Draw the heels towards one another. Bring the right arm out in front of you. You can use that arm for a pillow. And we're going to turn the right toes to face the right side of the room. So it's as if the inner arch of the right foot is on the floor here. Toes point to the right. Start to bend your right knee. Slide that out beside you. But the right knee is roughly in line with the right hip. The inner right thigh is reaching towards the mat. The right ankle is flexed for half frog pose. And keep encouraging the inner right hip and thigh towards the mat. It does not have to touch. If you'd like to bring a little bit of a quad stretch into this pose, you can start to bend the left knee, bring the left heel in towards your bum. If it's accessible, you can reach back with the left hand to take hold of a pant leg or your foot. But keep reaching through the left knee and sending the left thigh down into the floor. If you were wearing jeans, think about pressing the zipper of your jeans into the mat, all the way from the base to the button. Release the left foot if the heel is drawn in. With the right leg still in that half frog position, the right knee over to the right. Bring both arms to the floor in front of you. We're going to start to lift the torso up off of the mat, coming up onto your forearms. But if this is too much in your low back, you're welcome to come out. The arms are roughly parallel, palms face the floor as you pull your heart forward, lift it up. And slowly lower back down. Extend the right leg long to meet the left. Big toes come to touch, heels fall apart. Release your arms at your sides and look to the left. Settling into stillness. Gaze comes back through center. Left arm this time comes out in front. You can use that as a pillow. And we're going to turn the left toes towards the left side of the room. Bend the left knee, slide it out to the left side of the room as well. But the inseam of the left pant leg is on the floor. Deep flex in the left ankle, the left toes are drawn towards your left shin. We're extending through the right side of our body. Keep pressing that imaginary zipper into the mat. And if you did so on the other side, you're welcome to draw the right heel in towards your glutes. Maybe you can reach back with the right hand to take hold of the foot, the ankle, maybe a pant leg. Or you can just use the muscles of your leg to hold that heel in. If the right heel is drawn in, keep pressing the right thigh muscle into the mat. The front of your left hip is also reaching down towards the floor. Slowly release your right foot. The left leg stays in that half frog position. We're going to bring both hands out in front. Start to press through the palms of your hands as you rise up onto the elbows. Drawing the heart forward as you lift it up into a little bit of a back bend. Watching for any pain or discomfort through the low back, please come out. Even weight on both left and right side of the body. Slowly lower down. Extend your left leg long to meet the right. A little wiggle of the legs from side to side, let that go. Bring the palms of your hands to the floor beneath your shoulders. Press down to the mat, push yourself up through tabletop. Bend your hips back towards the heels for child's pose. You can have the knees as narrow as you like, or a little bit of space to create room for your belly. Fingertips can stay extended long in front of you, or you can release through the arms, reach the fingertips back towards the toes. Letting go of all effort in the upper body. Slide your hands forward to the top of the mat. Rise back up to tabletop. And then from your tabletop, we're going to turn the fingers towards the outsides of the mat. So we're still in tabletop, shoulders over the wrists, but the fingertips are pointing to the long edge of your mat. The wrists are facing one another. Thumbs point roughly towards the top of the mat. From here, start to do a few little circles with the upper body. It may be helpful to walk your knees a little bit closer or a little bit further from the wrist. Circling in one direction, and then the other. Moving slowly, just looking for points of tension through the wrist. And then pause in the center. We're going to continue to walk the fingertips towards the knees. Once again, you may find it easier to bring the knees a little bit closer. But we're going to pivot the hands so that the wrist is facing the top of the mat. The fingertips start to point towards the knees as if your hands are on backwards. A lot of people hold a lot of tension through their wrists. So it's okay if your fingers don't quite point behind the way they normally face. Just going as far as they're able to rotate. And pressing down through all four corners of the palm of your hand to the best of your ability, the fingers spread wide. And giving yourself permission to come out at any time if this becomes too much. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can always start to send your hips back towards the heels, but keep pressing the palms of your hands, especially near the wrist crease, down towards the mat. Long, slow breaths in and out through the nose. You always have the option to ease out of the stretch and come back in at any time. Knowing that the more gentle you are with the body, the faster you will see the end result you're looking for. So if you try to force yourself into the depth of this pose, you're more apt to cause injury and actually prolong getting any further into it. If you take your time, let your body feel safe, the muscles will naturally release, allowing you to go deeper. And slowly come forward. As mindfully as you can, release your hands, allow them to rotate back to their natural position. Lift one hand up, make a fist, and rotate through the wrist in both directions. Same thing, opposite wrist, both directions. Lower your opposite hand to the floor. Toes are going to be tucked behind you. So the toenails are pointing up towards the sky. The toes are tucked on the floor, heels stacked over the toes. We're going to start to look for a stretch up the sole of the feet here. So making sure you're pressing evenly through the big toe and pinky toe side of your feet. Walk your hands slowly towards your knees, maybe bringing your hips down on towards the heels. If you're already feeling a stretch, stay just as you are. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can walk your hands up, rising up, placing the palms on your thighs. Finding the height that works best for you. So if rising up all the way is a little bit too much tension on the soles of your feet, you're welcome to place the hands back on the mat. Make sure that your feet are parallel to one another. As you hold this pose, you're going to feel the heels start to tip outwards to the sides. Keep them drawn back up through the middle. The heels are stacked over the toes. Maybe you start to walk the knees a little bit further away from the feet to bring some more weight onto the heels. See if you can close your eyes and focus on the breath instead of the tension in your feet. Long breath in through the nose. And a soft breath out. Big breath in through the nose. And a soft breath out. One more big breath here. And then slowly lower down, bring the palms of your hands onto the mat. Find a tabletop position. Untuck your toes, maybe give the feet a little wiggle on the mat. Maybe tapping the toes out, whatever feels good. And we'll bring one hip onto the mat so you're able to pivot the legs around and come to land on your back. Your knees are bent to begin. With the knees bent, reach the right foot up towards the sky. And turn your toes towards the right side of the room and bring the pinky toe edge of your right foot onto the left thigh. Even out your hips, pressing down firmly through the left hip as the right knee reaches away from the shoulders. If you're already feeling a stretch into the outer hip and glute, you can stay just as you are. Or you can draw your left knee in towards you, maybe placing your left foot up onto a block or up against a wall. Option to take hold of the back of your left thigh, and as you hug the left knee in, the right knee continues to reach away from you. Play with the weight from the left hip to the right hip. See where you feel the stretch most. Every breath in, lengthen through your spine, let your tailbone grow heavy. And every breath out, without lifting your tailbone, hug the left knee in a little bit closer towards you. Slowly lower your left foot to the floor. Holding on to that figure 4 shape with your legs, we're going to start to tip the knees over to the right. You're coming onto the inner arch of the left foot. Left hip is going to lift up slightly as the inside of the left knee reaches towards the floor. It does not have to touch. You can release your arms at your sides or bring them up overhead. As much as that left hip is lifting up and over to the right, the inner left knee continues to reach down towards the floor. Using the right foot on the left knee for a little bit of added weight, but never being forceful. Find your way back through center. Maybe a little counter twist in the opposite direction with the knees. Outer left knee finds the mat. The sole of the right foot faces the floor as the right knee reaches away from the left shoulder. And come back through center. Let your right foot find the floor, a little rock from side to side at the knees to let that go. Land in the center, left foot reaches up this time, deep flex in the ankle. Turn your toes to the left and bend the left knee. Bring the pinky toe edge onto the right thigh. And take a moment to even out your hips, straighten your spine, lengthening through the tailbone. And if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you're stepping the right foot up onto a block or up against a wall. Or you can draw it in towards you, take hold of your pant leg, maybe interlacing your fingers around the thigh or the shin. Play with the position of the right leg. Maybe it's close towards the center. Maybe the right leg is reaching a little bit towards the outer right shoulder as you press down through the outer left hip. Just see where you feel the stretch most on this side. Slowly release, allow the right foot to find the floor, keeping the left in that figure 4 shape. Lengthen first through your spine and then allow the knees to find their way over to the left. Coming onto the inner arch of the right foot. The right hip is going to lift up and over to the left. Using gentle pressure with the left heel, lowering the right knee towards the mat. Never being forceful. You can always place a block beneath the right knee. There's no need for it to touch the floor as long as you're feeling a stretch. Take long, slow breaths into the right waist, the right hip. Come back through center. Still in that figure 4 shape, we're going to take a little counter twist in the opposite direction. So we're on the pinky toe side of the right foot, lowering the outer right leg to the mat. The sole of the left foot faces the floor as the left knee draws away from you. Take one big breath here. And find your way through center. Lower the sole of your left foot onto the mat. Heel toe your feet to the edges of the mat with the knees still bent. With the feet nice and wide, we're going to let the knees tip into touch. Taking a few moments in the supportive pose to let the lower back reset, releasing any tension that may have developed in that area. This is always a great alternative to Shavasana for those who have low back or hip sensitivity that find it uncomfortable lying on their back. Heel toe your feet towards one another. The soles of the feet come to touch, the knees open up like a book, creating a diamond shape once again with the legs. Each time we come into this posture, maybe finding a little more space, a little more openness. As we wind down our practice, option to support the legs with blocks or pillows, rolled up towels, whatever you have. Place your arms at your sides, let the palms face up as you tuck your shoulder blades beneath you. Lengthen up the back of your neck by tucking your chin in slightly. And feel the support of the feet on one another. Allow the muscles of the legs to relax and to surrender to gravity's pull. Feel your back body grow heavier and heavier onto the mat. As the front body remains light and fluid, moving freely with breath. Gentle rise and fall of belly and chest, chest and belly. Notice the tone of your breath the longer you hold this position. And you begin to let go of the effort of the breath, allowing it to return to its own natural rhythm and rate. If you have found a place of comfort here, stay just as you are, or as slowly as you can, without jostling or moving the rest of your body. Extend the right leg long to the bottom right corner of the mat. And then extend the left leg long to do the same. Each foot taking its place at the bottom of the mat and settling into stillness. All four limbs like sandbags at the edges of your body, growing heavier and heavier into the mat with each breath out. Engulfed in stillness, the body begins to release, to let go and to relax. Softening the face, the jaw. Maybe softening the gaze or perhaps closing the eyes completely. Allow you to better tune into the breath, using the breath as a tool to silence the mind, give the mind somewhere else to focus. This practice of stillness and of breath will continue to be yours for as long as you choose to allow it. When you do feel ready to go, do so slowly and mindfully, taking just a handful of breaths more on your back. It was with such gratitude that I join you here on my mat today and always. Namaste.